Welcome, dear viewer, to the first long form video that I have made on my channel. Right now, I'm going to put these plastic clips on my four-wheeler, but after that is what I'm making this video for, which is I'm going to be trying to crank a 1944 H Farmall. It's a wartime tractor, so production for certain things was limited on this thing, but it's got a bullet cam and some dome top pistons, so it's a little bit hot rodded, not a whole lot, still pretty much stock, but I'd like to get it running. It needs new tires too. This is definitely going to be a multiple day video, so just watch out for that. But first of all, I got to do this, so I'll be right back with you. Get out. They're kind of fatter than the other ones, but you know, I guess that's kind of good to a certain extent. The next plan is something that I already have. It's on the back of the golf cart, and it is what we supposed to be a live battery. It was kind of weak on the battery tester, so you know, I don't expect it to roll over very strongly, but if it does roll over, that means we got a good starter and we've got good electrical power. But I'd still have to check the points and spark plugs and stuff. So, you know, we'll have a lot to do. My beagle puppy, Harley. Everybody say hello to Harley. Everybody say hi to Harley. Harley, you need to say hi to everybody in the comments. Harley, look up. You say hi to everybody. Harley says hi. I'm walking to the shed right now. It's right down there. There's something back here that I know that you're gonna want me to fix. I can do nothing with it. It is not owned by me or my dad or my mother. We cannot do anything with this. It's just a Corvette. Don't go berserk. All right. This is the H. It needs all new tires for sure. You see those front tires right there are just flat. Needs back tires. But yeah, there's all this up here. It's kind of a rust bucket, but it's got these wheel weights, which is sick. Needs this tire, needs that. And here is part of the lift, or part of the bolt-on lift that goes on the back of this thing. But you see, this tractor is really cool. In fact, a lot of the Farmalls are really cool, I think, because you have your water temperature gauge and your oil pressure gauge up here, which I want to put a rain cap on here and eventually replace this exhaust with a straight pipe. It does not have a hand clutch like the John Deere's. It in fact has a foot clutch. There's the battery box right there. First thing I'm doing before I even try to put a battery to it is get and see if these cables are any good. There's a good connection up here. There's a good connection right there to that terminal. But you see, it comes back here to the starter. So, but like I said, we're gonna have to check a lot of things, but I'm quite sure it'll roll over. I don't know if you heard that. That was Holly. She was in my first ever short. Y'all want to go see her? I'll go see her. Down at the barn. There she is. She got her fly mask on. Hey, girl. What you doing down here? Just hanging out? Yeah, I thought so. At the golf cart, I got a value power battery, but I'm debating whether I should back the golf cart back there or try to carry it. This thing has no handle. The handle broke, so we got this. I'm just gonna back it up there. If I thought it was gonna destroy my fingers, I already knew it was. Down here, and now I'm gonna, you gonna stay in park this time? Okay, good. It doesn't want to stay in park sometimes. It's a little goofy. But I got the battery. We'll haul it back there. This sucker's heavy. Okay, we're here again. Don't know if it'll fit in the battery box. It might. It's kind of big, thick. It's a pretty thick battery. Get this out. Oh, it does. It's gonna stay pretty nice. Positive right here. I should not be doing. Why am I doing this? Matter of fact, you know, never mind. I know why I'm doing this, because I like this thing. I want this thing to run. I'm gonna eventually get to a lot of these. That 50 back there. I'm gonna post a short about that. Disking, maybe. Stay tuned for that. Anyway. Positive here, negative there. This thing is so full of cobwebs, it's not even funny. This thing should not have sit here for as long as it has. Whoa, I felt something. Woo, she's in gear. Well, that don't need to stay a thing. Woo, she moves. Oh my gosh, she rolls over. Woohoo! Well, if you didn't hear that, then you're deaf and you shouldn't be watching this video. No, I'm playing, there's subtitles. But this thing just rolled over. So we've got a good chance here. But we're gonna have to check points. We're gonna have to check spark plugs. We're gonna have to put gas in it. And we're gonna have to move one of these things. Probably gonna be the Corvette. But I don't know how. But one day I come down here and it's got aired up tires. I don't know how that happened. So we'll probably knock down some of the canes back there. You probably saw them growing up through the bumper. Or the lack of bumper, I should say. But chop some of them down, pull it out. But we're probably going to have to come up in here with new tires first. Well, probably not, because, you know, they're kind of messed up anyways. So we're getting somewhere for sure. We might actually get this thing started. But if we do end up getting this thing running, we'll pull the Corvette out. And we'll see if, first of all, we'll see if it'll move under its own power. I highly think that it will. But I'm going to pull it out. We're going to change the oil. This is something. I did not think I'd get this to run. Or I did not think I'd get this to turn over. But it sure did. That's crazy. If you didn't see him before, there's the cane. It's everywhere. There's the cane thicket. It sucks, kind of. It's not fun to whack that stuff back. But I thought about moving this. That's a G Farmall. Not Farmall. Why did I say Farmall? It's a G John Deere. It is my cousin's. It has not been moved either. I would like to get that running as well. But let me give you a quick tour around the shed. There's a 40 with a cultivator. If you can't tell, it's a rust bucket. I have not driven that thing before. We parked it when I was a very young lad. And, you know, want to get it running again. Want to try to find a use for it. Want to fix our garden to the right row so we can run that thing. There's the 520 propane. It's got a bunch of stuff growing around it. I have driven that thing before. It is a fun time. It smells like propane, which is a good smell for some of you. There's a 44 Massey Harris. It was a pulling tractor when my dad and my cousin would tractor pull with classic tractors. We don't do that souped up mess. There's the 50 that I showed you already. I am going to do a video here in the near future on fixing the battery cables, because those things are messed up. The A sits in front of it. It has not been cranked in forever. I wanted to crank that. There's the A, that with the cutout and the hood, you can tell that my cousin tried to hot rod it. It did not do good. There's the seat from the old seat from the Jeep. It's just hanging out here now. It's got new seats. Gonna have to replace another one though because something happened to it. There's a lawnmower that's here. This would be cool, but I'm not gonna use it to mow a yard because I'd get nothing done. But yeah, there's a quick shed tour. I'll go up top and show a little bit more here in a minute or two. But there's a couple lawnmowers back there. But yeah, quick shed tour. Like I said, I'm going to get tools now. I didn't say that before. I'm going to get tools now because I'm going to check the points. But I didn't get tools in the first place because I didn't think it was going to roll over. But it did. So that shows we've got a good starter. And we've got good electrical power. But we need fuel. It sounded like it was trying to start. So I think it might start with it, like if I just put fuel in it. But I'm not going to put fuel in it right now. So, yeah. Here's the 6620. I've driven that before. It's a fun time. But you gotta lock the driver in there like you're going in a spaceship because that door does not seal good. So somebody else has to climb up there with you. You have to get in the driver's seat and the person has to kick the door or you're just gonna get flooded with dust. There's the 5-foot bush hog that I hooked behind the 1010. I'll show you that in a minute. There's the tiller that we also hooked behind the 1010. Show you that in a minute. This is the 50. It has a wide seat. This is, in fact, the tractor that my parents left their wedding on. And it is cool. I have run this thing many, many times. Many more times than I can count. Does it have a battery? It does have a battery. But you can see those cables right in there are just messed up to a incredible degree. That one's got gunk on it. That's disgusting. But every time I run this thing, it'll die, and I just have to go up in there and just wiggle that around till it cranks again. Last time I did that, it didn't crank for like 15 minutes. So, I was out there in the heat. That was fun. But I'm gonna come down here at one point and get some electrical tape and stuff like that, fix this, get this running. I want this to be a really good tractor of ours. And it is. It's pretty reliable. We put an electric starter thing on it, so we ain't got to grind down points. I want to do that for the H. This is the A. It has front mount cultivators, but they are not set for the correct rows that we have for our garden. Neither is the 40. But you either plant in smaller rows or you just don't use this and hook a regular cultivator behind a multi-purpose tractor. So that's what a lot of people did. But this thing is cool, and you can tell it's got the engine mounted off to the side, which is awesome, I think. It's got a good back tire. I mean, it's got age on it. That back tire is good. It's got this front tire that we ended up messing up when we pulled it out of the front yard. That tire is also messed up. But I want to get this running as well. I want to get a lot of things. There's a lot of things around here that I want to get running and I just haven't. But it's probably because I'm just now learning to fend for myself. So, yippee! The most reliable tractor we have, besides stuff on the farm, this is the 1010. It is a 4-cylinder tractor. And this is a homemade weight holder, by the way. This was not factory. My dad built this, and it works really well. But she's rusty. Seat's kind of tore up, but I used this thing to disc not too long ago. You can tell But it's got a PTO. We run this with the tiller, bush hog, a lot of stuff. This is a real good multi-purpose. And it's a lot more powerful than the other stuff that's down there. So you can use it for more stuff like a bush hog or a tiller or something like that. Now she needs a rebuild. Not a total rebuild. She could use a carburetor rebuild. And, you know, just little piddly stuff that would help it run better. But we like it. We like to run it around. We love our old classics over here. And we like to do stuff with our classics. I want to unhook this disc from the 1010 after I fix around, or after I go around to fixing the 50. And I'm going down there with it to fix up Katie a horse arena for her to run around in and practice barrels and poles and stakes. If you don't know a lot about horses, that's fine. Katie's trying to convince Mama to get her own YouTube channel. Look for that coming up. That might happen in the near future. So all you horse fans watching this, you might want to look out, because Katie might have her own YouTube channel. So let's go get some tools to go try to look at the points on this H. I'm going to call my dad because he has been wanting this to happen for a long time. But he's got work to do. So somebody had to do it. I guess that somebody's me. And that time is right now. Pretty funny how plans change. Rain's coming. And we need to get that bottom land where I showed Katie's horse arena. We want to get that done. So I'm going to crank up Old Faithful, the 1010 I just showed you. Unhook the disc, go hook up the tiller. And that might be the last you hear of me today because rain's coming and it ain't going to stop. So we will probably continue the Saga with the H tomorrow. If it will not rain tomorrow, which there's a chance it will. But, you know, here's hoping. So let's crank the 1010. Get up on. It's not in gear. Turn on the key. Give her a little bit of throttle. And runs like a dream every time. Pick up the disc with the clutch right here. And we're gonna go unhook. I'll get over here. I really like what John Deere did with this right here. Gave you a little holder for your pen. You know, for whatever reason, when I unhook that, every bit of those arms come off with a breeze. I don't understand. I don't get it. You're one goofy tractor, I know that. This thing's really funny. We have to have the quick hitch on the 1010 to run this thing. Because nothing else that none of the other small implements that we have has a quick hitch. So, you know, this is fun. I like this. Ain't it funky how this stuff happens? You're probably thinking, oh my goodness, what a transition. Now we have a wet 1010. And now I'm also wet. It was raining midway through hooking this up. So, and there's a big hole in this roof. So, you know, this is fun. But I want to remind all you classic owners and those who are wanting to own a classic, you get up under here and you turn this off. Just turn this knob on this gauge and then that'll shut off fuel, head it to the engine, and it won't just sit there. But when you crank it back up, you got to remember to turn it on. Well, the 1010 got a bath, and so did I, even though I didn't really want one. So I'm walking back to the house through the rain. So tomorrow, which will be Thursday, I am going to try to get tools, if it's not too wet, of course. So I'm thinking it might be. But I'm going to get tools to check the points on the H and get some fuel put in it. Maybe, knowing that it's not locked up now, maybe we can have ourselves a running H. So, I'll see you tomorrow.
The next day.
Well, it's tomorrow, and you can hear Harley. Hey, girl. Say hi to the camera. So, tomorrow's here, and that means it's time to keep working on the H. Now, what I'm going to do now is put fuel in it. If it starts, then I'm going to be incredibly surprised. But there's a high chance it doesn't, because the points are not working right or the spark plugs aren't good. Hoping it's not the spark plugs, because if it is, the whole hood has to come off, which means I have to take off the air intake and the exhaust pipe, then take the hood off to get to the spark plugs, and I really don't want to do that. So we're gonna hope it's points. There was nothing wrong with the spark plugs when it was parked, so here's hoping. But I'm quite sure we're gonna have to fiddle with the points. So right now I'm going to get a gas can. We're gonna put fresh gas in it, and if it don't crank, then we'll know it's the points or the spark plugs. So Harley's gonna make several appearances in this video. Oh, she is right there. Because she doesn't like to be up at the house by herself anymore, ever since her brother passed away. So she still wants to run around out here whenever somebody leaves the yard. So I gotta get her out. So Harley's gonna make several appearances in this video. Oh, she is right there. Because she doesn't like to be up at the house by herself anymore, ever since her brother passed away. So she still wants to run around out here whenever somebody leaves the yard. So I gotta get her out. You can probably tell there is no 3-point hitch lift. So you can hook up a disc that has wheels on it, hydraulically operated wheels, and pull it up with this and lower it with that. So now we have to check if there's fuel in here. Because if there's bad gas, we're gonna have to let it sit here and run for a second. You can see the reflection of the foam. There's something in there, but if I kind of, it's not really full. So we're gonna put some good gas in here, try to run it through it, see what happens. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Why was the farmer so good at measuring angles? Not because he had a good math teacher, because he had a protractor. Credits to Just a Few Acres Farm for that one. I'm not even going to try to steal jokes on this one. That's Just a Few Acres Farm. Go subscribe to him if you enjoy this kind of content. Also, subscribing to me would kind of help. I'm not even going to lie. Harley just keeps on adventuring up here, don't you? Yeah. She doesn't really want on the action with the tractors. She doesn't like loud noises. Okay, so it's got gas in it. So we need to try it, see if good gas is the problem, or not having good gas is the problem. If it is the problem, it'll crank. If it's more than one part of the problem, it'll be the points or the spark plugs. So, got the knob turned. Ooh, there's some stuff coming out of that. It's trying really bad.